Hi crafters, this is Paulette. Now that day one is over for the Insider online card class, I thought I would share day one's cards and then our homework assignment. Jennifer McGuire taught 3 cards on a faux watercolor painting technique, and we did pop-ups on the inside of all the cards. Now, she used store-bought pop-ups, but she taught us how to improvise and make a pop-up similar to the ones that she was using. This was my first card, and all of my stamps were basically line images, so I had to fill in a lot with some extra ink. We were supposed to do an extra layer here on the front, but I thought that was going to get really thick. So I faux layered. I just cheated and put my little strip of cardstock on there. And then for this pop-up, it's a rose that opens like that, and I did a really sad job trimming my rose and didn't like it. I didn't cut it proper. I had a really hard time understanding the pop-up mechanism, and so I just had to at some point go ahead and get done. So I glued the extra part of the rose that was cut off of the bottom. I just glued it on there just to, I don't know, make it more complete. I don't know. I have this thing about filling in my images. I can't leave any blank space, and so, you know, anyway. So I think that turned out really pretty. The next card we did was with a bird image, and this was a very open image as well, and I ended up adding lots of extra ink to it. And I did my faux layer here as well and just put a piece of black cardstock across there. I actually masked that when I stamped it and watercolored it because these are on watercolor paper, and so they were just, you know, really thick. Now this little mechanism is a little box, and as you open this, the whole thing moves to the left. And I think that's so cool. So I really like that one. The last one I had a really hard time with. I actually started with a different image. I started with that beautiful little tree from Stampin' Up! That's in the Thoughts and Prayers set, and I just didn't like the way this was going. And then I had a smudge, and so then I had to start, you know, then I just started dragging the water and the ink around, and I really wasn't happy with that. But you know, after stuff dries, after you leave it alone and walk away, and come back, it's not bad. I mean, I will use that. I don't throw anything away. So I will use that. I also had trouble stamping the little inside panel for this card. And I gotta tell ya, I can't tell if that's my sticky strip or my red liner tape. Neither one of them wanted to stick to this watercolor paper. And I'm not sure what the dealio is. Let's just add some more on here. See if it makes any difference. Well, that just pulled whatever tape was underneath it, and see, it just doesn't want to stick. Well, how frustrating. I had all kinds of trouble with it to begin with. And I've only filmed this video maybe 5 times, so I'm just going to continue on. March on. It's day 2 and I'm only 2. I've got the second card done. And it's like 8:30 at night. But I have tomorrow off and I have Saturday off, so I will be able to concentrate on my cards. So let's give a little press in there. I didn't press in there. I just, you know, shut the card and smooshed it around a little bit. So this one has 2 little cubes that are glued together in the center, and then they fit into that. So really cute. I think this probably would have popped a little bit more if I'd had some black behind it. But I smudged this piece too, and I don't see, oh, here they are. I just kept doing this inside panel. Here's why I'm so behind. When things don't work out, I just kind of abandon that piece and start over. Well, now that these are completely dry, I mean, they're okay, except for this one with the red smudge on it. And I was going to use it. I went ahead and creased it so it would fold inside the card. And then I ended up choosing the one that looked most like the leaf on the outside of my card. And because these were just a lined image, when I moved the color around with my aqua painter, it totally deleted all of these lines in here. And I ended up having to come back with my green, which was this center color, and stamp over the top of it after everything else was done. And that turned out okay. It did really turn out pretty. I did that to this one as well, and that's why it's so kind of vibrant there in the center. This one did not get that, so it's very washed out looking. But you know, I will stamp on these, and this one had a big ink spot right there, which you can see. So I stamped with these other colors in here just across there, and it turned out okay. So let's get along. I'm blathering. So the next card was by Christina Werner, and she used some really cute little food that had faces. And so the only thing I had like that was this Lawn Fawn stamp called Lovin' Breakfast, and then I have another, like a $1 mini stamp, this little popsicles and stuff. So I just stamped some pancakes on my plate, and she used some Tim Holtz Distress markers just to color little bits, and then you come back with your aqua painter and just move the color around, and you can see what a fun technique that is. I have been using this, it's called the Pentel Aquash, A-Q-U-A-S-H. And I just got this off of Amazon for $5.65, and I love it. I wish I'd have ordered a couple more. It is just awesome. But what I did was, this is all of the extra ink from these cards here. It was very wet, and so I would have to wipe that off and then continue on and wipe off and continue on just to kind of get rid of all that moisture and the extra ink. But I love this, you guys. It is really the bomb. I read all of the reviews on it, and I chose it based on the reviews, and I am really pleased with it. So this was really cute. Christina's card had a wobbler thing inside it, and I don't have anything like that, so I just used one of the ways we made the cube inside one of the cards Jennifer did, and I just put my, this is actually acrylic packaging from some cutting pads, some Sizzix cutting pads, and then I cut 2 little strips to put my toast on, and I did these in watercolor paper so they'd be nice and tough. And when I cut out my toast, it cut off the arms and legs, so I just took my permanent black marker and just drew on more arms and legs. And I really love that. I think whoever gets that, you know, start every morning with a smile, and bing, there's the toast. So I think that's so much fun. Julie Ebersol's card was a present, and then the pop-ups inside were presents, and I totally did not get this whole thing. It was too late at night, and I just kept watching the video, and I couldn't get the measurements. She said they were in the instructions, which is probably the PDF file. It is so long. It has everything. It has all the supplies used and everything that did all of these cards, and it was 12:30 at night, and so I just really faked that. I watched her cut that with her scissors, and I just did it. It wasn't straight, and then when I went to the scorer tool to score this, my little score tool jumped out of the ditch and made some extra marks, but you know what? It didn't matter. This beautiful little Cosmo Cricut paper, I cut it straight, and it just fit on there, and it just works. I realized today, though, Julie had tied some more little twine on her gifts here, you know, with little bows at the top, and I totally didn't do that, but, you know, I could come back and do that later. But it turned out it's a beautiful card. Amber from Damask Love did some gold embossing, and I actually did do the layer here. And then we did this thing where we masked off the center, and we masked this off, and then did stamping around here. I didn't plan this out. This is a rectangular stamp by Hero Arts, and I should have masked over here when I stamped this one so that this one would have been free and clear. So I got some overlapping, but, you know, and because it was a bold, blocky stamp, I didn't get good adhesion all the way down. Even though I used paper as a mask, it didn't go all the way down. So I just did some extra sponging there just to try to compensate for that. And then I got some smudges. You guys, I get so much smudges on my cards. That's why all of my cards have little flying geese on them, or bees, or whatnot. So I had to add this flower and this flower, and of course then this whole side was naked, so then I had to come in and do a little bit of masking and stamp these other flowers too, just to mimic what was going on the front. When I originally stamped this card, these are some Martha Stewart stamps, and they didn't accept my Stampin' Up! Ink very well. This one was better, and it's not a new pad. You know, the new pads are that foam, and for some reason that maybe that pad just had more ink on it, but the ink really pooled up on these two. So I took a big old stamping, a big old filing piece of foam. It's a drywall sander, and just sanded the tops of those flowers. And can you see between here and this flower, I got a much better impression after I sanded them and then wiped them off. I ended up stamping this one off. So this is the second generation of this color, and really I like the original one better. So I should have just, you know, I should just roll with my original because it's putting me behind. So this card turned out really pretty. And then for our homework, we were supposed to take some cards that we've already done, that are laying around or ready to be sent out, and dress up the inside. So I just took the inspiration from Amber's card. I didn't mask, but it was essentially the same concept by stamping a frame around this part of the card. I did mask this side to keep it clean, and I just really love that. I can come back and I can stamp another sentiment in here, or I can just handwrite my message and sign it. So really fun. You guys, I'm loving this card class. I actually won my spot from Sherry Carroll's blog. And you know, I follow all the ladies that did today's card class the first day. And I love their card art. And, you know, this class was very affordable. It was actually $12. And so I am probably going to sign up for some other ones because, you know, I mean, I kind of do my own thing, but as far as placement and this kind of thing, I have no training on that. I just watch what other people do. And, you know, and then sometimes I come up with stuff that's really pretty, and sometimes I have stuff that's not so pretty, and it goes over here in the junk drawer. I don't throw anything away. I recycle everything. So, you know, these extra things, when I'm in a pinch and I need a card fast, I come and I pull these things out and I add stuff to them, and away they go. So I hope you guys are enjoying all of my cards and my peeks. Just really fun. So as usual, if you have any questions, be sure and let me know. I've only got 2 cards done for day 2, so I've got to get cracking. I will talk to you guys on the next video.